Morning, Kristen. Okay, it's about 10 minutes. Try to calm down, find or recognize the awareness, pure, connective, loving, understanding awareness. That's the reality, actually. No matter what forms or names we are using, this is the home. So maybe we continue reading the Thich Han's Art of Living, Being and Doing. My name, Nhat, means one action. I spent a long time trying to find out which action this was. Then I discovered that my one action is to be peace and to bring peace to others. Beautiful. We have a tendency to think in terms of doing and not in terms of being. We think that when we are not doing anything, we are wasting our time. When I was young, I strongly have this statement: I should do something, otherwise, I'm wasting my time. Again, if we are not doing anything, we are wasting our time. I think most people think this way, but that's not true. Our time is first of all for us to be human being, right? To be what? To be alive, to be peaceful, to be joyful, to be loving, and this is what the world needs the most. We are need to train ourselves. We all need to train ourselves in our way of being, and that is the ground for all action. The field of awareness is the ground for all actions, physical, emotional, mental, even spiritual. Our quality of being determines our quality of doing. That's a wise statement. That's a wise man. Thich Nhat said, our quality of being determines our quality of doing. So instead of saying how are you doing, we say how are you being. Interesting, huh? There are those who say, don't just sit there, do something. When we see injustice, violence, and suffering all around us, we naturally want to do something to help. As a young monk in Vietnam in the 1950s or 60s, together with my friends and the students, we did everything we could to create a grassroots Buddhism that could respond to the enormous challenges and sufferings of the times. We knew that offering chants and prayers were not enough to save the country from the desert, desperate situation of conflict, division, and war. We began publishing a large national weekly Buddhist magazine, started a school of youth for social service to bring relief and support to villages devastated by the war, and also founded Hanh University in Saigon to offer a more modern approach to education for the young generation. In all this work, we learned that the quality of action depended on the quality of our being. So every week, we organized a whole day of mindfulness practice at the nearby bamboo forest monastery. There we practiced sitting meditation, walking meditation, mindful eating together. And we took time to listen deeply to one another's challenges and joys. With the energy of brotherhood and sisterhood, we created a wonderful, happy place of refuge. So as well as saying, don't just sit there, do something. We can also say, don't just do something, sit there. Yeah. How are you doing? Or how are you being? Stopping, becoming still, and practicing mindfulness can bring about a whole new dimension of being. We can transform our anger, anxiety, and cultivate our energy of peace, understanding, and compassion as the basis for actions. The energies of wisdom, compassion, inclusiveness, fearlessness, patience, and non-discrimination. Non-discrimination, so important. True non-discrimination is based on non-identification. You see, the identity, who you are, is always go back to the source. Non, just repeat: the energies of wisdom, compassion, inclusiveness, fearlessness, patience, and non-discrimination, never disparaging anyone, are all the qualities of awakened beings. So, if you want to see, whether you are awakened or no, you can check these kind of attributes like wisdom, compassion, inclusiveness, fearlessness, patience, non-discrimination. That's a kind of a status measurements. Cultivating these energies helps us bring the ultimate dimension into the historical dimension, so we can live a life of action in a revealed and joyful way. So this page 100, starting from 99 to 100 and 101. The passage is being and doing. This is all the wise words, wisdoms from Venerable Thich Nhat Hanh. At least 60, 70 years of study and practice and experience. So we can live a life of action in a relaxed and joyful way, free from fear, stress, and despair. You see, action is from your being. Any doing or any action is from your being. So how's your being determines how's your doing. Uh, who are you? Once you realize or understand who we are, or who are you, or who I am, then every action from that understanding will bring your understanding into action. Every action express an expression of that being. Make sense? When we are calm, our action becomes calm and playful, right? When we anxious, our words or our action behavior becomes anxious. Quite logic of psychology and physical has a very close relation. You see, Buddhism is a very scientific thing, a Buddha's teaching. We can still be very active, but do everything from a place of peace and joy. This is the kind of action that is most needed, for sure. When we can do this, the work we do will be of great help to ourselves and to the world, to our family, yeah, to our friends, to our company. I continue on page 101, the action of non-action. Non-action or non-doing. The doing of non-doing. You see, the total balance between yin and yang, the total balance between the being and doing, the S line of that yin yang symbol. Beautiful. Also, it's the middle way of Buddha's teaching. Sometimes not doing anything is the best thing we can do. Non-action is already something. It's cultivating the understanding, the inner peace, inner calm, inner joy, more understanding. It's a practice of a true doing or true action. This meditation is so important. Dhyana, dharana, samadhi is so important. The three limbs of yoga, instead of the let's say the twisting, bending of the body, the third limbs. I just forgot this name. Asana, yes, that's the third limbs. Yoga is much more meaningful than just bending and twisting. There are people who do not seem to do very much, but their presence is crucial for the well-being of the world. There may be someone in our own family who does not make a lot of money, and we could say they were not very active. They are not very active. But if that person wasn't there, the family would be much less happy. I'm that kind of person. Only Only when he or she is gone, you, oh, what the heck? Your, the whole part of family or life is missing something. Repeat. There may be someone in our own family who does not make a lot of money, but we could say they are not very active. But if that person wasn't there, the family would be much less happy and stable. Because the person is contributing to the quality of their being, their non action. So good. So funny. Imagine a boat of desperate refugees crossing the ocean. The boat gets caught in a storm and everyone panic because don't. If everyone panics, there is a high chance they will do the wrong thing and the boat will capsize. But if just one single person can remain calm, they would be able to inspire, insp- inspire others to be calm. If from place of peace and ask everyone to sit quietly, the whole boat can be saved. Make sense? That person doesn't exactly do anything. You see, non-action. What they contribute above all is their calmness and the quality of their being. That is the action of non-action. That's the yin out of yang, or yang out of yin. Depends how you look at it. Most time we look at yin is the foundation of the yang, like your like feminine a feminine part of one person. From the feminine part of one person, the yin part, we can act, we can talk, we can contribute, we can make money, which is the yang part or masculine part. Makes sense. They need balance, both yin and yang, both non-doing and doing, being and doing need a total balance. As a society, we are always striving to do things to resolve the many difficulties we face. And yet, it seems that the more we do, the worse the situation gets. Lack of serenity, not individually, also collectively and socially. So we have to look into the ground of our actions, which is our quality of being. In Plum Village, we have organized retreats for Israelis and Palestinians back in the Middle East. Their lives may be daily struggle to survive. There's always something to do and not a moment to stop. But when they come to Plum Village, we create a peaceful environment for them to rest, stop, sit quietly, and come back to themselves. The awareness or inner peace and calm, right? They just sit with us, walk with us, and eat with us. They practice relaxation, deep relaxation, physically, and more importantly, is mentally and emotionally. No one is doing anything special, yet it is already a revolution. After only a few days of practice, they feel not better. They have space inside, inner space. they are able to sit there and listen to the suffering of other side with compassion. We have to understand each other, even your enemy. First, many young people on these retreats have told us that it was the first time in their lives they believed that peace was possible in the Middle East. If we want to organize a peace conference or conference on the environment, we could do it in the same way. World leaders can come together not merely to sit around the table and make decisions, but to spend time together as friends and establish a human relationship. When we can listen deeply to each other's suffering and difficulties, and when we when we can express our insights and idea using loving speech, then our negotiations will be successful. So Thich Nhat Hanh also always strengthen or stress on the deep listening. Deep listening. Yeah, listen to the voice of other people, to the family. In this deep listening and communication, we could understand each other more. Yesterday, my son wrote a diary, and I asked him to read for me, and she read all his diary for me. It's very interesting that he's 11 years now. He has all sorts of thoughts, you know, self-image, try to make friends with others, sometimes successful, sometimes failure, unsuccessful. He has so many sensitive feelings now, and I I really understand the deep listening is a way to understand each other more and love deeply too. You see, care deeply too. We are human beings, right? We need communicate. We need understand each other, not just only say hi, how are you, how's the work. You know, we need express or open ourselves at the deepest level. This actually remind me when I was young, I like to talk deeply instead of study. I like to sitting in a summer night watching the star and ask a friend to join me to talk about life. Even though I have little understanding of what life is, but that tendency or habit really helped me to listen, to understand, also to understand myself too. Yeah, it's a very good feeling when you can open your mind and heart to talk about something that is troubling you or um, how to say make you happy. It's always very good way to talk it out, to share, and maybe our friends or family can help us, especially when we were young. We were when we are unwise. We are listening to the Buddha's teaching right now. we are listening to the Thich Nhat Hanh's teaching right now. A wise man, wisdom, compassion, love, peace. That's what we need for, right? Makes sense. Quite sense. Eventually, we all look for calm, joy, happiness. That's the universal, how to say, dream or universal hope. Restoring communication is the most basic practice for peace. Totally agree. We have to organize to we have to organize so there is enough time to live together peacefully, think peacefully, and act peacefully. During the conference, in order to give rise to the kind of insight that our nations need, peace is not something hope for to hope for in the future. Peace is something that we can be in every moment. If we want peace, we have to be peace. Peace is a practice and not a hope. Are you peaceful now? Are you calm? Yes. Peace is the opposite of anxiety, stress, anger, depression. You see, when we feel peaceful, we feel good. And on top of this peace, we can do things deeply, wisely. We say that our leaders cannot afford to spend 1 or 2 weeks together like this. And yet, war and violence are costing us so much money and so many lives. Our political leaders need the help of spiritual leaders to address these global problems. They have to work hand in hand. True peace work, true peace work requires a spiritual dimension, the practice of peace. Thank you. Thank you, Thich Nhat Hanh. Let's sit in minutes. So we can also ask ourselves, are we relaxed? Am I relaxed? Yes. Am I relaxed mentally? Yes. Am I relaxed emotionally? Yes. You see, to answer this question, you need to check yourself. We need to check ourselves, right? So all the questions are pointers or helpers. Yes, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm calm. I'm peaceful. I'm even kind of joyful because no worry now. You are present. You are living in the present moment. You can take a Look around your room, your computer or cell phone, maybe your windows, out of which there's trees or buildings, cars passing, people talking, maybe. Yeah, take a look. Also, take a look at your body sensations. I'm sitting, I feel relaxed. Hopefully, you don't have any lower back pain. That sucks. But even that pain, you can look at it without, how to say, pain is pain. You are you. That's from a Zen master in Vancouver, actually. But he passed away. Yeah, the first person, let me think about his name. Sorry. I forgot his name. So sorry. So this master was interviewed by the reporters or, a TV channel or news channel. At that time, he got a lot, hugely arthritis pain, knee pains, and he cannot sit quite like a normal person. And the reporter asked him, "How do you look at your pain?" He said, "Pain's pain. I am I." You see that space between the pure observation and the content of the observation? Pain. There's space between pain and him, the awareness. Again, it's a safe zone. It's a safe zone in terms of we cannot, we have the chance not to be disturbed or distracted, be tortured by the external surroundings or the physical pain even. And if you go closer, you could have that safe zone between you and your memory, your trauma. You see, that safe zone, that space is so important. It's always there. It was there. It is here. It was always there unless you have that pure observation. You can disidentify with the memories, with the physical pain, with the family problems. Like now, you can see me. There's a space between you, the awareness, and me, the image or the sound. That's a safe zone. You see, as a human being, our mind is so powerful. That's why always the sages always say, "You're not your body, you're not your mind." Why they say so? Because they have that space between the pure awareness and the body and the mind, and also surroundings, any inputs from the six sensory organs. They have that space. When space is there, time is there. A, a sacred pause is there. Space and time is related, right? Closely related. It's just two sides of one thing. We call the world. And once again, if I go further, once you can have this space between the pure observer and the observed, you can disidentify with them naturally, or step by step, day by day, one by one. That's called awakening. Once you can disidentify with the contents of the awareness, you lock the door or you enter the door of enlightenment or awakening. At least you understand it now, right? Maybe in your experience, you don't, in your everyday life, you don't experience that. It's okay. Knowledge first, practice later. Like everything else, knowledge and practice come together. Sometimes for this spiritual awakening, maybe knowledge first. Yeah, I'm not this body, I'm not this mind. There's a space between me and the other or other thing. Then I can disidentify with them and identify with me. I mean, the pure awareness. Step one, again. Step two, there's a union. I'll repeat this again, it's because it's so important. It's the milestone. Even though you don't experience that way now, it's okay. You have this understanding, at least literally, and you can apply this into your meditation, into your everyday life. We are here on the planet Earth to realize this. You are not the body, you are not the mind. Or, in other words, we can be free from the limited body and mind. That's the beauty of awakening, you see? That's the beauty of awakening. Actually, once you disidentify the body and mind, you have a better relation with the body and mind. It's such a, because you are not burdened by body and mind anymore. You can use it because now you have more understanding. It's very paradoxical. When we say we are not the body and mind, it does not say, oh, I can forget about this body and mind and I can go somewhere else. No. And I don't care of my physical body. I don't care my intellectual mind anymore. No. Actually, you care more at a deeper level. It's a very strange thing. Now, once you have that space, look at the body and mind, look at the surroundings, and try to say, I love you. I love you, my body and mind. I love you, people. I love you, animal. I love you, book. Thich Nhat book. I love you, computer, even. From this association, you have a deeper association. That's my experience. You, you have a experience, how to say it, a feeling of playfulness. You see, everyone, everything is just a ripple, a bubble in the cosmic ocean. And most of them, they don't understand it. They identify them as just a ripple, a wave, a bubble. They don't identify them as total ocean. But you are different now. You identify you are an entire ocean expressed in this body mind or wave. If I keep using that analogy, Now you see, wow, actually, every wave, every bubble, every ripple is so beautiful. Yet they don't know their beauty yet. You're, it's like you're self-generating an ocean of love, understanding, compassion. That's what Thich Nhat Hanh said. Once we reach a level of peace, calm, serenity, something will arise. The true understanding, first ourselves, then others, will arise naturally. And you have more acceptance why they behave like this, why they behave like that, why so society is so. You accept in a deeper level. You because you know what? It's all about ignorance. They don't know who they are, who I am. It's you see it's always go back to the source. We lose ourselves. We lose the true self. Any questions here? Or you want me to continue on the reading? It's like a reference and reference for us, and I can read the Thich Nhat Hanh's book and express my understanding too, which is very good. It's a pointer. Okay. Kirsten say, continue, please. Oh, you're really a knowledge lover, huh? Which is good. Okay. So I just read one more page or two. The book mixed with your understanding is excellent. Yeah, thank you. I kind of enjoyed it too, actually. So next one is, what is your dream? It was once asked by a journalist in Holland, do you have anything left you want to do before you die? Wow, that's a very deep question. I didn't know how to answer her because she was not very familiar with the teachings, the Buddha's teachings. So the best I could do was simply to look at her and smile. Oh, that's kind of in the Buddha's teaching. There's a silent flower sermon. The whole teaching. So Buddha was sitting in front of like hundreds, thousands of disciples, but maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, no words at all, total silence. That's called silent sermon. At the end of the sermon, Buddha held a lotus flower in his hand, and among hundreds, thousands of disciples, there's one disciple smiled. Do you know his name? I have said this before. So his name was Mahakasyapa. Mahakasyapa was the first generation of Zen Buddhism, or Chan. He established a Chan and transmitted to 28th generation Bodhidharma, and Bodhidharma traveled to China around 6th century, then Korea, Japan, all over the world. That's where the Chan or Zen is so popular. Um, Thich Hanh was doing the same thing to the reporter. Said nothing but just smile. That's a very meaningful, how to say, signature or sign. Maybe maybe when you are asked that by something by someone and you cannot get the answer, you just smile back and in silently. That's a very good technique. Okay, the truth is I really don't find that there is anything I have to do before I die. Whoa. Do you think that way too? Because the way I see it, I won't never die. Oh, immortal. All the immortals see themselves as immortal. Good. Do you? And the thing I want to do, I've been doing for a long time already. That's cool. That's a very deep, profound statement. In any case, in the ultimate dimension, there's nothing more to do. Wow. You see, you are already perfect and complete. That's a message we should get, at least from the intellectual level, and bring that understanding to realization. In any case, in ultimate dimension, there's nothing more to do. You are enough. We talked about yesterday, right? Or in other words, you are complete and perfect already. You see, all these words try to kind of connect to each other. As a 30-year-old monk during the war in Vietnam, I wrote a poem with the lines, "Dear ones, the work of rebuilding may take thousands of lifetimes, but this work was already completed thousands of lifetimes ago. In the ultimate dimension, there is nothing for us to do. To practice aimlessness doesn't mean that we don't have a dream or aspiration. It means to stay in touch with the ultimate dimension in the present moment so we can realize our dreams with joy, ease, and freedom. That's all. So once you identify your total cosmic ocean in this limited body and mind, you're at ease and peace, and you can work, love, care, and serve. So beautiful. That's the total balance between the doing and non-doing, human and being. Every one of us has a deep desire to realize something in our lifetime. That when I was young, I want to talk about life and look at the summer night stars and or at all the empty sky with shiny, shiny, twinkly, twinkly little stars. I wonder why I'm here, why I'm so small. Now I got the answer. I'm not small. I'm the entire empty space that in this body mind asking these profound or little or small questions. You too, I think. Every one of us has a deep desire to realize something in our lifetime. Yeah. You see that's a purpose of life here. We have to figure it out. Why am I here? Who am I? What's the purpose of life? Come on. Tell me. Discover it. Whether or not you are aware of it, deep in our hearts, there's something you have always wanted to accomplish. Yeah. Not just a fleeting wish, but a deep intention that may have begun to grow in your heart while you were still very young. I totally agree with him. That heart is now still searching for the ultimate dimension. You see, awareness try to understand it himself. Ouroboros. Why Ouroboros, a snake like a snake or dragon, bite his own tail? Because his tail is yummy. Yum, 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 yum. The awareness try to understand awareness itself. The awareness try to understand awareness itself by biting its own tail like a Ouroboros. And the taste of this biting is infinite. Is infinite. That's why everyone try to look for the purpose of life, look for the happiness. Make sense to you? Sometimes I use that analogy of hugging yourself. The awareness is hugging itself right now. So I use the analogy of an apple tree. Imagine on the field there's an apple tree, giant, and there are roots deep in the ground. There's a trunk, there's branches, there's green leaves. In the autumn, the apple turns from green to reddish or orange, so ripe to fall. So if you don't pick it up, it will fall naturally into the ground. It's the self-love of the earth, Mother Earth, self-hugging of the Mother Earth, self-aware of the awareness. Everything is so in a pattern, you see. As a human being in this form, we draw a circle of understanding. First, most of people, we are trying to draw the circle outwards. For the first half, we're looking for happiness, health, wealth outwardly, but the true happiness, wealth, and health also are inwardly. So that's called awakening. You see, you draw the complete, perfect circle where there's no starting point and ending point. Very philosophical, right? I love philosophy. Yeah. Lao Tzu, Kong Tzu, right? Wow. So philosophical. Not only philosophical, but also scientific, reasonable, loving, compassionate. That's the beauty as a human being. When you identify and nurture your deepest desire, it can become a source of great happiness. Got it? When you identify and nurture your deepest desire, your dearest dream, it can become a piece of great happiness, energy, and motivation. Yes, motivation. What's your motivation now? To make money or to be happy, or both? Do you realize you're complete and enough and perfect already? Then you can make money, make happiness as you want. Maybe you don't want to make money, make happiness anymore because you got it already. It can provide you with drive. Oh, I mean inner strength. I will say with direction, purpose. It can sustain you through difficult moments. Sorry. Our dream gives us vitality. Wow. It gives you life meaning. You see, everyday life is a manifestation of the ultimate. Once you realize this sentence makes sense. Our dream gives us vitality. Instead of boring or stressful situations and the life situations, you find some meaning. You find vitality in everyday life, in normal everyday life. Everyone has a dream. You need to take the time to be still. Still, samatha, going home, okay? Back to home, and you will enjoy uh, external activities. You will enjoy your trip, your doing, your conversation, your job, your sleep even. Okay, you need to take time to be still, to look deeply and listen to your heart to find out what's your deepest desire is. What is your deepest desire is. It is to have a lot of money, power, fame, or sex, or it is something else like awakening, enlightenment, happiness, you know, true happiness, true wealth and health, true relaxation, peaceful connectivity, luminosity, ease. The list can go on, goes on and on, can go on and on. What do you really want to do with your life? 40 years old, 50 years old, or 20 or 30? Doesn't matter. What do you really want to do with your life? You should not wait until you're already old to ask ourselves these questions. Once you can identify your deepest intention and act on it, you have a chance to be true to yourself, to live that kind of life you'd like to live, and to the kind of person you'd like to be. Okay, so we finish at 105, page 105. So we did two paragraphs. We're starting from 99, being and doing. So right now you're in the being and doing. I am in the being and doing. Do you recognize it? Can you bite your own tail? Can you see it, perceive it with clarity and stability? Being and doing. The action of non-action, the doing of non-doing. That's the beauty. That's a very philosophical statement. The action of non-action. And with the last paragraph, what is your dream? Yeah. Do you know you're dreaming? You're dreaming now. You're the dreamer. And every pops and the settings, relation, or your contents in your or the contents of your of dream that we call life. Everyone is a dreamer and is dreaming right now. Do you want to have a live dream or bad dream? All up to you, man. Uh, okay, with that, we end this session. Okay, back to your awareness. Purely observe outside and inside. Say thank you, my computer, my cell phone, my body, my mind, my family, my society, my community. Say thank you to whole nature, ocean, raindrops, clouds, space. Say thank you to them. This kind of saying thank you to contents of the awareness is a recognition of love, compassion, strength, power. Say thank you to everything you are aware of. That's a union between you, the awareness, and the contents awareness. It's a beautiful way to establish that union between you awareness and the contents awareness. Thank you, my family. Thank you, my body. Thank you, computer. Thank you, floor, windows, rooms. It sounds very crazy, but if you do this, you're self-generating a world of love, appreciation, understanding. Thank you, Buddha. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, all the sages, all the teachings. Thank you, Sadhguru, Deepak Chopra, Rupert Spiral, Sri Sri Havi Shankar. Thank you, Osho. Thank you, monks, nuns, sages, teachers, professors. Thank you. Bye now, sorry. See ya tomorrow.